Before September 1st, 2026, there are 12 items in your home you should check and restock if you're running low. Not because all of them are about to disappear from shelves, but because we're entering a period when storms, power outages, wildfire smoke, and small disruptions to daily life can make very ordinary items important within just a few hours. NOAA says Atlantic hurricane activity typically reaches its climatological peak around September 10th, so the final days of August are a reasonable time to check your home before you actually have to depend on those supplies. This list doesn't require you to buy a lot. It helps you find 12 small gaps that are easy to overlook, and the number one item could determine whether many other devices in your home still work when the power goes out. 12. N95 masks. One morning, you open the door and realize the sky isn't as blue as it was yesterday. There are no flames near your home. You don't hear fire trucks, but there's already a smell of smoke in the air. That's exactly what makes wildfire smoke different from many other hazards. The fire can be very far away, but the air doesn't know boundaries. And in 2026, this is a risk worth preparing for ahead of time. According to the National Interagency Fire Center, as of August 24th, the U.S. had recorded about 50,184 wildfires, with more than 7.8 million acres burned. The total area burned was about 168% of the 10-year average. Smoke from large fires can also travel hundreds of miles and affect communities that can't see the flames at all. In late August, while wildfire activity is still high, this is a reasonable time to check whether you still have a few proper N95s at home, instead of waiting until smoke reaches your area and a lot of people start looking for them at the same time. The important point here isn't that N95 prices are about to go up. The important point is, buy it before you actually need it. But don't buy a mask just because the box says mask. If the goal is to reduce the amount of wildfire smoke, ash, and very small particles in the air that you breathe in, the type of mask you choose matters a lot. NIOSH says approved respirators such as N95 or P100 are designed to form a seal around the face and filter small airborne particles. That's a major difference from a regular cloth mask or surgical mask. For price reference, Home Depot currently lists a 10-pack of 3M Aura N95s for about $23.98, which works out to about $2.40 each. That is only the price at the time it was checked, not a nationwide price. But with N95s, a few dollars of difference isn't the most important thing. A good respirator that doesn't fit your face can still let air pass through gaps around your nose, cheeks, or chin. So when you buy one, look for NIOSH approval markings. Check the identifying information and TC approval number on the product or packaging. Don't just see N95 on an online listing and assume the product is right for you. And most importantly, try it on before there's smoke. Adjust the nose piece, make sure the respirator fits your face, and store unused ones in a clean, dry place. N95s also have limits. They're designed to filter small particles in the air, but they do not protect the wearer from gases or chemical vapors. So wearing an N95 doesn't mean you can ignore air quality alerts or other safety guidance. The best mask isn't the one still sitting untouched in the box when the sky is already full of smoke. It's the one you already know fits your face before the day you actually need it. 11. Heavy-duty trash bags. Nobody brags to their neighbors that they just bought a really good box of trash bags. But imagine 3 days without power. On the first day, everything still feels pretty normal. By the second day, food in the refrigerator starts becoming a problem. By the third day, wet trash, food packaging, and things that have to be thrown out can pile up very quickly. At that point, a bag that's so thin it tears the moment you lift it is no longer a small problem. And in 2026, this item that hardly anyone pays attention to is showing a price signal worth watching. The Producer Price Index for polyethylene refuse bags rose from 128.865 in March to 137.103 in June and 149.20 in July. From June to July alone, the index rose about 9.3%. That doesn't mean a box of trash bags at the store will immediately go up in price by 9.3%, but it does show pressure is appearing on the producer side before shoppers necessarily see all of that pressure in retail prices. Nobody can say how quickly that pressure will pass through to retail prices. But in late August, right before Atlantic hurricane activity usually reaches its strongest period, this is a reasonable time to check whether you still have enough good trash bags at home, especially when this is something families will definitely use whether there's a storm or not. Heavy-duty trash bags also do more than simply hold garbage. When daily life is disrupted, they can help separate dry trash from wet trash, contain dirty items, and collect debris during cleanup. More importantly, Ready.gov also includes garbage bags and plastic ties among sanitation supplies in an emergency kit. But this is where a lot of people save money the wrong way. Don't buy the thinnest bag and then give it the heaviest job. If the bag tears, you may have to use another bag, clean up what just spilled out, and spend more time. In the end, the cheapest option on the shelf isn't necessarily the cheapest one to use, so don't just look at the number 80 bags printed on the box. Check the capacity, thickness, closure style, and what kind of trash the bag is designed to handle. Then calculate the price per bag. A box that costs a few dollars less doesn't save you much if a job that should take one bag regularly takes two. A good trash bag won't keep your home from having a bad day, but it can keep that bad day from spreading across the kitchen floor. 10. Toilet paper. The year 2020 left behind an image that many Americans still remember. Completely empty toilet paper shelves. But the United States didn't suddenly lose the ability to produce paper. What happened was much simpler. Too many families decided to buy extra during a very short period of time. Something nobody normally thought much about suddenly became something everyone was looking for at the same time. That's why toilet paper appears on this list. Toilet paper is used every day. When your backup supply at home gets low, you still have to buy it regardless of the weather, the market, or what type the store still has available. And this is where shrinkflation, reducing the amount of product while the price or package size doesn't change much, becomes worth paying attention to. Words like mega, giant, or family size sound very large, but they don't tell you exactly how much paper you're bringing home. For example, Great Value Soft and Strong 24 mega rolls, 380 sheets per roll, currently has a reference price of about $17.46. Larger packages from the same brand may have a lower cost per 100 sheets. So the number of rolls isn't the best place to start comparing. The more useful information is in the number of sheets per roll, total number of sheets in the package, number of plies, and price per 100 sheets. If two packages look almost the same, but one has fewer sheets, you'll see the difference immediately when you put the numbers side by side. This is also a practical way to track shrinkflation over time. Compare the specifications of the package being sold today with the one you used to buy, instead of only looking at the package size. There's no need to fill the garage with toilet paper. Just keep a reasonable backup supply and restock, while you still have enough time to choose a better size, brand, and price. The year 2020 showed how quickly toilet paper shelves can change. The lesson in 2026 is much simpler. Restock while you still have choices, instead of waiting until the only things left on the shelf are smaller, more expensive packages. 9. Laundry detergent. A family isn't really buying a bottle of laundry detergent. They're buying 50, 70, or 100 future loads of laundry. That's how you should look at this item, because the price on the bottle is only the number at checkout. The real cost is decided every time you pour detergent into the machine. In 2026, that calculation is even more worth paying attention to. According to the BLS in July, household cleaning products were up about 3.2% from a year earlier. At the producer level, soaps and detergents were up about 4.2% year over year. In other words, price pressure is showing up on both the shopper side and the producer side. Tide Simply Oxy Boost, 105 fluid ounces, advertised for 74 loads, currently has a reference price of about $9.97 at Walmart. Divide $9.97 by 74 loads, and you get a pretty good number on paper. But the bottle cap is what decides whether that number exists in real life. Concentrated detergent creates a situation where it's very easy for people to spend more without realizing it. The bottle may be smaller today. The formula may be more concentrated. But your hand still pours based on the old habit. Clothes are a little dirtier. Add a little more. The machine is fuller. Add a little more again. If overpouring happens again and again across many loads, the 74 loads on the label can become a very different number in real life. And because laundry repeats week after week, a small difference each time can add up significantly over an entire year. The way you compare should change too. Instead of looking at which bottle is bigger, take the sale price and divide it by the number of loads the manufacturer claims. Then check the actual dosage that fits your machine, load size, and how dirty the clothes are. If the bottle cap has measuring lines, use them. More soap does not automatically mean cleaner clothes. Using too much can also leave residue on your clothes or inside the washing machine. That's also why a cheaper bottle doesn't necessarily mean cheaper loads if you regularly use more than you need. There's no need to turn the garage into a detergent warehouse. Just buy an amount that fits your family's actual usage cycle and pay attention to how many loads you really get from each bottle. One overfilled cap doesn't cost much today. Multiply it across hundreds of loads, and the story becomes completely different. 8. Dish soap. After dinner, the sink starts filling up. Plates, glasses, knives, forks. A pan still has a layer of grease stuck to the bottom. The water is still running. The power is still on. But when you pick up the bottle of dish soap, there's only a thin layer left at the bottom. This is the kind of product that's very easy to forget until after the kitchen has already started needing it. A pan that hasn't been cleaned isn't ready for the next meal. Dirty knives and cooking tools have to be dealt with before they can be used again. And if the sink keeps getting more dishes after breakfast, lunch, and then dinner, today's work can very quickly become tomorrow's pile. That's why the small bottle beside the sink can become the bottleneck for the entire kitchen routine. In 2026, cleaning products are also showing some price pressure. Cleaning and polishing products were up about 5.1%. This is data at the product group level. It does not mean a bottle of Dawn or any specific brand went up exactly 5.1%. With dish soap, what matters more is how often you use it. A family that cooks regularly may use it several times in the same day. After breakfast, after preparing food, after dinner, and then one more time for greasy pots and pans. So a nearly empty bottle can go from, "There's probably still enough left," to completely empty faster than you think. A simple way to avoid that situation is to keep one bottle in use and one refill or unopened backup bottle, if this is something your family uses regularly. The goal isn't to stockpile a lot. It's just to avoid having the dispenser run empty right when the sink is full. And dish soap should also be kept in its proper role. It is not an all-purpose chemical for every surface or every cleaning job. Especially, don't mix dish soap with bleach or other cleaners unless the product label tells you to do so. The safety rule with household cleaners is simple. Use them for their intended purpose and avoid unnecessary chemical mixtures. You may not notice the bottle of dish soap when it's full, but once it runs empty, every plate, pan, and utensil that comes next in the kitchen will quickly remind you how much work it was doing every day. 7. White vinegar. Some products on this list are worth paying attention to because their prices are under pressure. White vinegar is the opposite. What makes it worth keeping at home is its low price and its ability to handle many small jobs without always needing another specialized product. Great Value distilled white vinegar, 1 gallon, currently has a reference price of about $3.94, which comes to about 3.1 cents per fluid ounce. Walmart Business also lists a shelf life of about 730 days for this listing. Less than $4 for a gallon is enough reason for this item to stand out in a very different way from the previous sections. In the kitchen, white vinegar can be used in some appropriate recipes. Around the home, it can help with odor removal, handle some cleaning tasks, help soften mineral buildup on suitable surfaces, and be used in laundry when appliance or product instructions allow it. But the more versatile it is, the easier it is for people to go too far. The most common mistake is thinking, if vinegar works in a lot of places, it must work everywhere. That's not true. Vinegar is acidic, so before using it, check the concentration on the label and whether that surface can tolerate acid. Natural stone requires special care. Marble, limestone, and travertine can be dulled or etched by acid. With granite and other types of stone, it's best to check the manufacturer's or supplier's guidance before using it. Some metals and coated surfaces may also not be suitable. Vinegar also should not be treated as an all-purpose disinfectant for every situation. Cleaning and disinfecting are not always the same thing, and there are situations that require a product specifically designed for that purpose. But there is one rule more important than all the others. Never mix vinegar with bleach. The CDC warns that household bleach should not be mixed with other cleaners or disinfectants because it can create dangerous fumes. When bleach comes into contact with acid, chlorine gas can be released. This is not the kind of tip you want to learn after you've already tried it. So before using vinegar for a new job, do 3 simple things. Read the label, check the surface, and don't casually combine it with other chemicals. White vinegar is worth the money because it can do many things. What makes it truly useful is knowing exactly what it should not do. 6. Flashlight. The house is completely dark. You know the flashlight is still in the usual drawer. You feel your way over there, find it, and press the button. Nothing. That's the moment a very ordinary item suddenly becomes more important than every specification printed on the box. With a flashlight, the story comes down to when you check it. NOAA says the Atlantic hurricane season reaches its climatological peak around September 10th, and most activity is usually concentrated from mid-August through mid-October. In its 2026 hurricane season update, NOAA also forecast that most of the remaining activity would likely fall in August, September, and October. So late August is a very natural time to test the lights you already have at home before a night. Without power makes that too late. Ready? Gov also includes a flashlight and spare batteries on its list of basic emergency kit supplies. A good flashlight helps you see the stairs, find medicine or keys, check the breaker area, move around the garage, handle small tasks after a blackout, or carry it in the car. If you need to work with both hands, A headlamp is even more useful because the light follows where you're looking. Before asking how many lumens a light has, there is a more practical question. Can you find it in this dark? An extremely bright flashlight sitting at the bottom of a box nobody remembers the location of can still be useless in the first few minutes of a power outage. The preparation is simple. Choose a fixed location. One near the bedroom, one in the common living area or kitchen. If you keep a light in the car, know exactly where it is. Press the button once in a while, instead of assuming it still works. Your phone also should not become your only source of light. During an outage, phone battery power still needs to be saved for communication, weather alerts, and emergency information. Old batteries also should not sit inside a flashlight for years. If they leak, they can damage the very device you're relying on. A flashlight doesn't need to be the most exciting item in an emergency kit. It just needs to be in the right place, work on the first press, and be ready before the room goes dark. A flashlight isn't valuable because of how bright it is in the store. It's valuable because you know exactly where it is when the entire house goes dark. 5. Battery charger. You have rechargeable AA batteries. You even have a charger sitting right there in the drawer. But tonight the power goes out, and almost all of those batteries are only at about 20%. At this point, a wall charger that costs nearly $20 is just a piece of plastic that can't help you right away. That's the paradox of item number 5. A battery charger is not backup power. Its value lies in the hours and days before you lose power. At the time of checking, Walmart is listing the Energizer Recharge Value Charger at about $17.87, lower than its previous listed price of about $23. So this section does not have a "prices are soaring" story. What matters more is how a charger can turn rechargeable batteries into a reusable system for flashlights, remotes, toys, and many compatible household devices. The problem is that system only works if the batteries are already charged. One very easy way to remember it is to divide them into 3 groups: ready, charging, used. The ready group is batteries that are fully charged and can be used immediately. Charging is the batteries being recharged. Used is batteries that just came out of a device and are waiting their turn. Just maintaining this rotation makes it less likely that you'll end up with 8 rechargeable batteries in the house, but not a single one actually ready to use. And pay attention to battery chemistry. If the charger is designed for NIMH rechargeable batteries, use that type. Don't try putting regular disposable alkaline batteries into the charger unless the manufacturer of that specific product clearly says they are designed to be recharged. If a device uses batteries in pairs, you can also mark them and keep those batteries together so they go through similar use cycles. Before bad weather is forecast, take a few minutes to check the rotation. Recharge the batteries that have gotten low. Put a full set into the flashlight or radio you need. Keep another charged set somewhere easy to reach. Don't buy a charger to prepare for a power outage. Use the charger before the power goes out. 4. Fire extinguisher. When was the last time you looked at the pressure gauge on the fire extinguisher in your home? A lot of people remember exactly where the extinguisher is hanging, but they don't remember the last time they actually checked its condition. That's the danger of a device that is almost never used. It can sit quietly on the wall for years and create the feeling that the house is prepared, while nobody knows whether it is still actually ready. For price context, the BLS shows that tools, hardware, and supplies were up about 3.5% from a year earlier in July. This is data for a broad product group, not a separate index for fire extinguishers. A residential Kidde 2A10BC fire extinguisher currently has a reference price of about $48.87 at Walmart. But with this item, The most important thing to do today may have nothing to do with buying another one. Check the one you already own. Look at the pressure gauge and see whether it is in the proper operating range. Inspect the cylinder for signs of rust or dents. Check the hose, nozzle, and safety pin. Make sure the extinguisher is not hidden behind boxes, cabinets, or furniture that would cost you time finding it and pulling it out. And take a few minutes to reread the instructions on the extinguisher. USFA emphasizes that fire extinguishers should only be used on small fires, appropriate for the extinguisher's rating, and in situations where the user can still act safely. Before trying to put out a fire, you need to have a clear escape route behind you. Everyone in the house needs to have been alerted, and the fire still needs to be small enough to handle. If the fire is spreading quickly, the smoke is getting thick, you don't know whether the extinguisher is appropriate for that type of fire, or you simply feel that the situation is no longer safe. Leave the house and call 911. No fire extinguisher is worth risking getting trapped between yourself and the exit. And with a fire extinguisher, preparing today can sometimes take only a few minutes. You may not need to buy anything else at all. You just need to confirm that the extinguisher that has been hanging on the wall for years is still intact, easy to reach, and ready for the right situation. Tonight, look at the extinguisher hanging on the wall. If you don't know what the pressure gauge is showing, then your preparation still isn't truly complete. 3. Basic tool kit. A cabinet hinge starts coming loose. A screw falls out of a door handle. A faucet needs tightening. The battery compartment on the radio needs to be opened. None of those jobs is big enough to call a repair person right away. But if you don't have the right tool at home, a 2-minute problem can sit there bothering you for days. That's why a basic tool kit is worth having at home. At Walmart, a basic hyper-tough home repair kit with 11 pieces has a reference price of about $19.97, while a larger kit with around 110 pieces is listed near $29.88 at the time of checking. The price difference doesn't sound very big, and that's exactly when the marketing starts getting interesting. A box that says 110 pieces definitely looks more impressive than a box with only 11 pieces. But open it up and see what those 110 pieces actually include. If most of them are just dozens of bits, fasteners, or small accessories you'll almost never use, the big number on the box doesn't automatically make the toolkit more useful. In a normal household, what matters more are the things you'll actually pick up when there's a job to do. A good screwdriver, pliers, hammer, adjustable wrench, tape measure, a suitable utility tool, and a few commonly used basic fasteners. A small kit with the right items can handle a lot of little jobs. Tightening a handle, adjusting a hinge, hanging something simple, opening a battery compartment, or handling small repairs that don't require specialized skills. When looking at a toolkit, try asking one practical question. Will this kit help me handle most of the small jobs that commonly come up around the house? That question is much more useful than trying to buy the box with the biggest number. But self-reliance also has limits. A toolkit does not turn a homeowner into an electrician, plumber, or contractor. Dangerous wiring, gas systems, structural damage, or any job beyond your experience should be left to someone qualified. Knowing how to handle a loose screw yourself is useful. Knowing when to put the screwdriver down is even more useful. A good toolkit doesn't need to help you fix everything in the house. It just needs to help keep small jobs truly small. You don't stock pet food because the animal understands hurricane season. You stock it because it completely depends on you understanding that for it. 2. Pet supplies. With pets, switching isn't always as simple as shoppers think. What you're trying to maintain isn't just an amount of food in the cabinet. It's stability for a member of the family that depends completely on what you prepare. For prices, the pet food PPI in July 2026 was up about 1.1% from a year earlier. On the consumer side, pet food and treats were up about 1.3% year over year. Both are relatively mild increases. But with pets, what's more important to preserve than a few dollars of price difference is continuity in daily life. If you have to leave home quickly or the household is disrupted, think about the things that help your pet still eat, drink, move around, and be cared for as close to its normal routine as possible. A few days of its usual food, water, necessary medication, a leash or carrier, and sanitation supplies. If you have a cat, litter also needs to be part of that plan. Ready. Gov recommends that an emergency kit for pets include enough food and water for several days, along with vaccination records and other necessary supplies. This becomes even more important when many things in the home change at the same time. The power goes out. You have to move. You're staying somewhere unfamiliar. The feeding schedule gets disrupted. People in the house are stressed. Keeping a few familiar things in place can make caring for a pet significantly less chaotic. The preparation is also very simple. Keep a few extra days of the food your pet regularly eats and rotate it, using the first in, first out principle, so the older food gets used first. Food should be stored properly to keep it fresh. The carrier needs to be somewhere you can grab it immediately, not deep in the garage under 5 other boxes. Vaccination and medical information should also stay with the necessary supplies. If you have to change food, don't switch suddenly just because another brand is on sale. For many pets, gradually transitioning to the new food will be easier on the digestive system. If your pet is on a therapeutic diet or has special needs, follow your veterinarian's guidance. A reasonable few days of backup supplies can help keep your pet's routine more stable while everything else around it is changing. 1. AA and A batteries. The flashlight is still in the right place, but there are no batteries. The radio still works fine, but the batteries inside are dead. The digital thermometer is still intact, but the screen won't turn on. 3 different devices. The same very small weakness. The device still works. The only thing missing is the right size power source to make it work right when you need it. That's why AA and A batteries are number 1. Late August is the time to check them. NOAA identifies Atlantic hurricane activity as typically reaching its climatological peak around September 10th, with most historical activity concentrated from mid-August through mid-October. Before moving deeper into that period, remember, test, replace, recharge, rotate. Test important devices. Replace weak batteries, recharge rechargeable batteries, and use older batteries first. Energizer Max AA 24 batteries currently has a reference price of about $19.98 at Walmart. When a storm appears in the forecast, many families may check their flashlights, radios, and emergency devices at the same time. So confirm ahead of time which devices use AA and which use AAA. Rechargeable batteries and disposable batteries solve 2 different moments. While the power is still on, the charger helps rotate batteries. When the power goes out, an unused set of AA or 8AA batteries gives you power you can take out and use immediately. Write the battery size on the outside of the emergency box or next to the important device. Keep batteries in a cool, dry place. Rotate older batteries first and avoid mixing new batteries with used ones. For an important flashlight or radio, keep a separate unused set. Check for signs of leakage too. Batteries left inside a device for a long time can leak and damage something that costs many times more. A very cheap component can decide whether a more expensive device is still usable or not. The day a storm appears on the map is not the ideal time to open every drawer and wonder whether the radio takes AA or LLA. You want to know the answer before then, and you want the right size batteries already sitting next to the device while the whole house is still lit. The important thing is not to buy a lot before September works, but to check what you already have and fill the important gaps. A flashlight without batteries, a fire extinguisher that has never been checked, or pet food that is about to run out can all become problems at exactly the moment you least want to deal with them. You don't need to turn your home into a warehouse. Just prepare early, keep essential items somewhere easy to reach, and make sure they still work. The best preparation is preparation while the house is still lit, the weather is still calm, and you still have time to choose.